Hi guys, welcome to my first monthly palette ranking. I'm so excited. So in front of me, I have all of the palettes that I used in the month of April and I have ranked them. I used 12 palettes in April. So if this is something that interests you, please keep watching, subscribe. If you would like to follow me, if you don't know, my name is Amanda, also known as Mermaid Hair Donut Care, like donut, on Instagram, TikTok, and here. All three is Mermaid Hair Donut Care. So let's get into it. Okay, starting off at number 12, we have the ABH Riviera palette. This was my companion palette for the month of April, and I just wanted to try and give it some more use. I didn't really use it more than like maybe 2 to 3 times for just like one or two shades. Like I did use the shade Bahamas, which is the pink. I did use a couple of these shimmers. I don't even know how to say that, and Mediterranean. So that was really about it. But I don't know, I just don't love this palette. So yeah, it is ranked number 12. Okay, then we have, okay, so I'm gonna preface this as pretty much every palette from here up I like a lot. So that was really the only one that I have a problem with. It's just that this is how I rank them. But I like all of these palettes. So I want to start by saying that. Okay, so number 11 is the Honey palette. I have been doing looks with my ColourPop palettes that I have ranked in the top 16 of my collection. So this was one of the palettes that I have done a look for already. I love the look that I did, so stay tuned for that. I will be going through all those. So this is a cute little 9-pan monochromatic. I do love this palette. Okay. Coming in at number 10. Did I say that was 10 or did I say that was 11? That was 11. This one is 10. Okay, hopefully I said it right. This is the So Fly palette. I did state when I made the video for this one that it was potentially my favorite 9-pan palette, which is a huge statement because this is insanely neutral for me. But these shades, this shade here and this shade here, we have FYI and Wingtip, are pretty special. I mean, especially FYI, I could probably wear that daily and not ever get tired of it. It is so pretty. The rest of the palette is fairly neutral, but it's just got that little hint of like special to it. Okay, coming in at number 9 is the Cabana Club palette by ColourPop. I did also use this for, well, I used So Fly also. These were all used for the palette ranking that I did. That's why I used them. Um, I love this palette. I think it's so fun. It's definitely has its neutral, but then it has like, I mean, a pop of purple, a pop of dark blue and light blue and orange. Like, and this pink is really pretty. Um, and yellow. Like that's a bright ass yellow. It's just very fun and I think it's super like summery, which I mean makes sense. It's called Cabana Club. So but yeah, I really, really like this palette and I love the look I did with this one too. Okay, coming in at number 8. So like I said, keep in mind, I said I love all of these palettes that are coming up. And I do. So I'll explain. So the Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley palette. The only reason this is ranked where it is ranked is color story. That's it. That's the only reason because I had no issues with I had no issues with performance. I had no issues with literally anything other than it was like a fall color story and it's spring. So I did have a little trouble, I guess. I don't know, I wouldn't say trouble with inspiration, but like I obviously wanted more spring looks at the moment. But I really do like the looks that I created with this palette. So, like I said, no performance issues whatsoever. But the color story is very fall. So, that's the only reason why it is ranked where it is ranked. I do love this palette. Okay, coming in at number 7, we have the ColourPop Lost in Wonderland palette. I did only use this one time, so I had a little bit of guilt at ranking it as high as I did, and I definitely couldn't have ranked it any higher. But it is so freaking gorgeous. Like I'm gonna try to. I'm sorry ahead of time for the sniffling. My allergies are like kicking my butt, so I will try to cut out any sniffling if I possibly can. I love the look that I created with this palette. I absolutely love this palette. This was not involved in my ColourPop ranking. I got this palette after I had ranked my palettes already. So this is the newest ColourPop palette that I have, and it is their newest, well, not newest now, probably. I think they launched something else recently. But this is a really gorgeous palette, and the quality was great. I had no problems with anything. I only used a few shades, and then I used a color stick that came with the collection. So again, I felt guilty about ranking it so high, but I just love this color story. So it's so fun. And I love Disney. I'm a huge, huge, huge Disney fan. That's what got me in the first place. I wanted it because it was Disney, and then I also love the color story. Okay. Coming in at number 6, the Bella Beauté Bar Pastel Garden Palette. Okay. This is what's currently on my eyes right now. But when I'm filming this, it is May. This is my ranking for April. So in April, I only used this palette one time. So I felt I couldn't rank it any higher than that because I had only used it one time. But this palette is absolutely freaking stunning. Like, look at it. Take it in. It's insanely gorgeous. I am so happy that I have this palette in my collection. Like, you have no idea. Um, I wish I could have ranked it higher, but like I said, I felt guilty. I only used it the one time. I can't just like rank it higher than everything because like I don't have a true like judge of like performance and like longevity and everything like that. But I love this palette. So stay tuned to see where it ranks in my May ranking. But absolutely freaking stunning. I love this palette. And this was the first thing I've ever used from Bella Beauté Bar. So I'm really excited to see what else they do. And I want to try some of their other things. So stay tuned for that as well. Okay, coming in at number 5, we have the Glamlight Margarita palette. I absolutely love this palette. I think it is so fun. The color story is so like springy, summery. Um, I described it when I was doing my review of it on TikTok that it's like a colorful palette with like a pop of neutrals versus like a neutral palette with a pop of color because there's just like so much color and then there's just like a little bit of neutral, like just the right amount. I'm obsessed with this whole collection. This is the Happy Hour collection from Glamlight. There are 3 other palettes that are in this collection that I want to have eventually in my collection, but this was on sale recently for like $15, so I jumped on it and grabbed it, and I'm so happy that I did because I love this palette and it is like the true Glamlight quality. So good. Okay, moving on to number 4, we have, I kept it, hold on, I kept it in its box because it's the packaging itself to me is so delicate that I don't want to ruin it, and I know I will if I don't keep it in its box. So let me just get it out. Okay, number 4 is the Royal Europe palette from Nomad Cosmetics. It is stunning. I am like, I love, first of all, I love this packaging. And second of all, I am like a huge jewel tone person. Jewel tones, neons, bright, whatever, but I love jewel tones. Like my favorite colors are like teals and blues and purples and these like fuchsia magenta pinks. I absolutely love this. So this was my first experience with multi-chromes. So it was so exciting to try them, especially from Nomad, because I do love Nomad Cosmetics. Um, this palette is absolutely stunning. I do love the looks that I did create with it, but I can't wait to use it more and give it more of an opportunity to shine. Um, it will probably be ranked even higher once I get to do that. So stay tuned for that as well. This was number 4. Put that back in the box later. Okay, coming in at number 3, we have the ColourPop Fade into Hue palette. This was part of my ColourPop ranking, but then it was also part of a little fun thing I do on TikTok, which is like, I call it picking out of a hat, but it's like picking out of a takeout container. And I pick a palette and I use it for like 3 to 4 days, maybe 5, depending on how inspired I am by it. Create 3 to 4 looks, 5 looks maybe, and then do a review on it. So I happened to pick it, and then also this was involved in my ColourPop ranking. So one of the looks from my little game is part of the bracket ranking. That was a mouthful. Okay. Anyway, I love this palette. Check out my ColourPop ranking if you like ranking videos. Check out my ColourPop ranking to see where this one ranked. I love the different textures. I love the different tones. I do wish that there was like one row of like even deeper tones. But as far as this goes, like I love this palette. I love everything about it. I love the looks that I created with it. Um, it's just so good. It's so good. I also just love rainbows, so there's that part too. All right, coming in at number 2, we have the Odin's Eye Solmon 2 palette. This was this the first palette that I've tried? No, this was the second palette that I have ever tried from Odin's Eye. And it is stunningly gorgeous. If you could see, I have never panned any palette that I can even think of in my entire life. One, I have a boatload of palettes, like too many. So panning stuff is like nearly impossible unless I'm using it like daily, which there's no palette that I use every single day. If you can see in this deep purple shade called Galaxy, I have put like a giant divot in that. It's such a good color. I love this palette. It was one of the first, I might have been like number 10 actually, that I used in my like picking out of a takeout little thing. I don't know. I keep wanting to call it like a game. I guess it's a game. I don't know. It's just to get me to use all of my eyeshadow palettes. Um, the looks I created with this were so freaking good. The quality was amazing. The shimmers are amazing. I love the color story is amazing. It's so good. It's like almost like a rainbow if there was like a reddish, because there's a pink. Like, it's so good. I just love this palette. I really do. All right, coming in at number 1. If you couldn't have guessed, actually, I'm going to take like a minute, not even a minute, and give you a chance to guess. I want to know what your guesses are before you watch the rest of this video. Drop your guesses in the comments as to what my number 1 palette was. And then I'm going to tell you in 3, 2, 1, the number 1 palette is the Blend Money Surge palette. I love this palette so much. So much. It's so good. I like just the quality is amazing. Like I've heard a couple people say that the shimmers are not up to snuff with like this palette, but I have not really ever had a problem with the shimmers in this palette, so I cannot complain. There's literally nothing I can complain about in this palette. I love this. This is actually my May companion palette. So I am trying to get some more use out of it in May as well. And for those of you that are not aware, for my companion palettes, I just pick up. Okay, I'm just having technical difficulties all over the place today. But as I was saying, this is my May companion palette. For companion palettes, I just pick one palette that I choose for each month, and then I use that palette for whatever I need while I'm doing my makeup that month. If I need a inner corner shade, an outer corner shade, a transition shade, a pop of color, like literally whatever I want, I dip into this palette for that. So that was my number 1 palette. Check out May to see where it ranks in May because I have already used it and it is my companion palette, so it will be being used in May. And if you like ranking videos, if you like tutorials, makeup looks, I don't ever really try to teach anyone. I just try to show people what I do personally for myself. Just remember that these are all my opinions. Don't take it personally if I ranked your favorite palette lower than you would have. Like I said, it's my opinion. That's why I ranked it the way I did. But as I was saying, the top literally 11, there was really only one that I didn't like. So the top 11, I like them all. I like them all. So there's nothing other than the last one that I really just didn't like. So yeah, stay tuned for next month. And I have some more videos coming in May. So stay tuned for that. Please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, here on YouTube. And yeah, there's always more. Bye.